resources.
So we have a product, a unique product called Asteroids. You
sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
key resources.
So we have a product, a unique product called Asteroids. You
sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
key resources.
So we have a product, a unique product called Asteroids. You
sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
key resources.
So we have a product, an unique product called Asteroids. You
Sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
key resources.
So we have a product, an unique product called Asteroids. You
sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
Resources.
So we have a product, an unique product called Asteroids. You
sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox? So
So we have a product, an unique product called Asteroids. You
Sell this product for very cheap. Why you call it a lunchbox?
Good morning, everyone. Every day starts with few expectation and ends with huge experience. When you enter this room, learning is fun and cooperation is expected. With this thoughtful message, I wish you all a very happy morning. I feel pleasure in welcoming you all to the pre-final year placement orientation program. A little communication goes such a long way. If you are busy, say it. If you are upset, express it. If you are running late, let people know. If you don't want to do something, be straightforward. It is so simple but so important. I assure that this session will be mind blowing to know about the placement. We cordially welcome our beloved chief guest of the day, our chairman, Dr. S.N. Subramaniam sir, our respected correspondent, Dr. Rajalakshmi Madam, Technical Director, Dr. S. Nalin Vimal Kumar Sir, Principal of SNSCT, Dr. S. Chendura Pandian Sir, Principal of SMS College of Engineering, Dr. S. Charles Sir, Deans, HOD, faculty members, and students of SNS groups of institution to this session. I feel very happy to welcome Dr. S. Chendura Pandian Sir of SNS College of Technology to welcome our resource person to this session. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Most respected Chief Guest, Mr. Balakrishnan Thampi, Director, CTS. The guest from CTS, Ms. Parvathi Subramanian, Senior Analyst, Business Development, Analyst, Mr. Shiva Biswas, Campus Recruitment HR, Mr. Praveen Viswanathan, beloved Chairman, Correspondent, Technical Director, Principal of SNS College of Engineering, Dr. Charles, my dear student friends, and the present pre-final year students, those who are attending this program. I am extremely happy in welcoming all of you for the placement orientation program with the mentors from CTS, heading by the director, Mr. Radhakrishnan Thampi, and their team. We are much privileged to have all the guests from CTS to have this pre-final year placement orientation program with the guest available from CTS. I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Radhakrishnan Thampi, Director, Ms. Parvathi, Ms. Shiva, and Mr. Praveen from CTS to SNS Technical Institutions. I extend a warm welcome to our Chairman, Technical Director, Correspondent, Directors, Deans, Principal of SNS College of Engineering, and all the students of SNS Technical Institutions. To the guest and chief guest, I would like to quote few information of SNS Technical Institution. See, the SNS Charitable Trust was started in the year of 1997 with the motto of sincerity, nobility, and service by providing education to the poor, economically poor and village people with affordable cost. This was the motto in the 97 the college was started. In the year of 99, we started Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, which is autonomous college and NAC accredited thrice with the highest grade of A+. We have around 5,000 students in that college. SNS College of Technology started in the year of 2002, for which I am the principal. And this college is having all the branches and the special branch like food technology, agriculture technology. Then we have biomedical engineering, mechatronics, and the specialized branch with 3,500 students. We are NAC accredited, NB accredited, all the eligible program, and we are also autonomous college. So this is started in the year of 2002. In 2007, we started third college, that is SNS College of Engineering, that is also autonomous, NAC accredited and NB accredited, and all the eligible program are permanently affiliated to Anna University, Chennai. And in the year of 2014, we started SNS Academy, which is a fingerprint CBSE school, which has from LKG to plus 2. 2007, we started BEd College, which is also another college by the SNS Charitable Trust. The year of 2019, we started
Excellent. Excuse me, sir. We can't hear you properly. You're gone on mute.
Yours is muted, sir. Principal, sir, please unmute.
can you hear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the information, Radhakrishnan and Tamil Selvan. Sorry for the interruption. So last year, 2019, we started 2 paramedical colleges. That is, one is SNS College of Pharmacy, another one is SNS College of Allied Health Sciences. We offer the specialized courses like cardiotechnology, cardiopulmonary, physician assistant, radio technology and imaging processing, all the specialized course we started the last year. And in this great year, even though there is a pandemic and our management was kind enough to support and open 2 new colleges. One is SNS College of Nursing, another one is SNS College of Physiotherapy. Physiotherapy has got 100 seats and nursing got 60 seats. And we have got affiliated to Dr. MGR Medical University, and all the approval got approved. So the same year we started B Spine B School also. So totally in the crown of SNS Charitable Trust, we have 10 institutions with the great guideship of our chairman, Dr. S.N. Subramanian, with the support of our correspondent, Madam Dr. S. Rajalakshmi, with the driving force from Technical Director Dr. Nalini Kumar. We are marching towards achieving the excellence in education, not only in education, in the field of medicine as well as in the industry area. So with this, once again, I welcome Dr. Balakrishnan Thampi and his team for the inaugural function as well as a placement orientation program by CTS. A hearty welcome to all of you. Thanks for the opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. I welcome Mr. T. Taran Kumar from DT team to introduce our chief guest. I welcome you, sir.
Good morning, all. I am very much happy and delightful to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Radhakrishnan Thampi, Director, Partner Pre-Sales and Business Solution, Product and Resources at Cognizant. Sir is having 21 plus years of experience in information technology and service industry. He has very strong in delivery and pre-sales background in retail consumer goods, manufacturing, logistics, energy and utilities. Sir has very much skill in delivery management, pre-sales and accounting and account management. We welcome you, sir, and we welcome the Cognizant team, Ms. Parvathi Subramanian, Senior Analyst, Business Development from CTS, and Mr. Shiva Biswas, sir, Analyst, Business Development and CTS. We welcome Praveen Viswanathan, sir, Campus Recruitment, HR from CTS. We welcome you all to this wonderful occasion, and we are very much happy to invite you for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon our chief guest, to take up the dice.
Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction about the college and about us, everything. And I think we truly believe that me and my team and Cognizant truly believes that it's an honor and privilege to be here talking to all of you because, one of the reasons is the world is changing a lot, right? So before I get into the just brief presentation, everything, right? So and our introductions, everything. So world is changing, and it is from our side, from Cognizant side, from companies like Cognizant and people who are working in this IT industry and technology industry, right? So we feel that we should be connected to the younger generation, not only the younger generation, to the academic world, younger generation, to the people, to understand what's going on around the world, so that we can make everybody's life a better one, because it will be better tomorrow for all of us. Okay, so that is our motto, and that's what we wanted to achieve. It be it working it for Cognizant or for any other company. That's what all of us are trying to achieve, and especially in the times of COVID. Okay, so I'm going to flash a presentation here. So Shiva and Parvati, right? So once I am done with the slides, so what we have done, team, is everybody, we have divided this presentation into 3 parts. Okay, so first, what I will from my side, from my experience. So I have been with Cognizant for the last 21 years, and so I will do a quick where we stand, and then I'll hand over to Shiva, who is more connected to the business and to the industry, because from a later technology standpoint, who will talk about the latest trends in the industry, everything. And then Parvati, who is our senior analyst, senior digital leader from Cognizant, and who will talk about her experience in why campus placement is important. Okay, so during this course of time, please feel free to interrupt me asking questions, and please make sure that, one of the things is, if you have any questions, please either put it on the chat or ask the questions. We are always would like to answer it and make this more an interactive one. Okay. Anything, Ram, Praveen, Shiva? If not, I'll get started. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, Radha.
Yes, Radha.
Thank you. I think one of the reasons is I think people are keep joining. So somebody please make sure that you are admitting them to the lobby. Okay. So one of the reason, let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So I'm going to switch off the video because I may have a bandwidth problem. So hope that's okay with you guys.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So, and my apologies for the noise outside. There's a construction going on in the next in the neighborhood. That's the reason. Okay. So before we start, right? So I think the professor has explained that this is a pre-placement thing, right? So we wanted to call it more than a pre-placement or anything like that, because it's more of a career, right? So when I looked at your company, looked at your college's profile, going through the details you have said, it's a wonderful institution. Okay, and you have cut across from arts and science to schools to engineer, everywhere. So you name it, you have everything, right? So what we wanted to see is take you guys and give you the future, give you a career, or take your passion and turn it into a career. That's what organizations like us we wanted to do, right? So most of us are using a lot of gadgets today. So it's like somebody called it gadget economy and all those things. But maybe I may not be talking about that, but that is what we wanted to talk about it, right? So moving on. So we have. Sorry, if you're not speaking, can you please go on mute? Thank you. Like the professor mentioned, I'm Balakrishnan Thampi. I am with Cognizant for the last 21 years. I have been with retail and consumer goods practice for most of my 21 years because it's more closer to the people, closer to the, and I started with that and I started loving it, and now I'm looking after a area called what we call it product and resources. What product and resources means is resources is your natural resources and products across the world. So that is how Cognizant has structured that, which includes retail, consumer goods, energy, utility, manufacturing, etc. So I'm based out of Bangalore, living here with my wife, and happy to be involved in here. So Parvathi and Shiva, if you want to give a quick introduction of yourselves.
Thanks, Radha. Good morning, everybody. Happy to connect with a young and vibrant crowd after a really long time. Thanks for the opportunity to the SNS family. Myself, Parvathi, I worked with Cognizant for almost a decade now. I joined here as a campus recruit, and I will be sharing my experience with you as to how my journey throughout was. And currently, I serve as the digital business lead in the product and resources domain. Thank you. Over to you, Shiva.
Thanks, Parvati and Radha. Hi, I'm Shiva. I'm a digital analyst with Cognizant. I've been working at Cognizant for over 4 years now. Well, I have 7 years of experience across retail and consumer goods. I love to travel. I love a lot of data, and that what kept me going and talking to young people like you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shiva. Thanks. Anybody has any questions about our background or anything? Otherwise, I'll move on. Okay, I'll take that as a no. So a quick intro about Cognizant. I don't know how many of you know Cognizant very well. I'm sure your seniors may be working there and everything. So, but we started 25 years ago as a captive for one of the world's largest data companies called Dun & Bradstreet, and from there after a couple of years we renamed ourselves as Cognizant Technology Solutions, and then on we are sailing. There were hard times, there were tough times, but Cognizant has been on the radar for one of the fastest growing IT companies all around the world. Okay, so we become a 1 billion company in 2005, and now we are, if you look at it, we are poised to become a 17 billion organization with around 283,000 employees, and we are taking on the digital market, what you know as the analytics, data analytics, all these gadget-based services, iOS development, everything. So our close to our 42%, more than 40% of our revenue comes from digital services, and primarily our customers are based out of North America, and we are expanding our footprint in Europe and Asia Pacific and other areas, LATAM, other areas as well. And we are 194 in the Fortune 500 list, and almost every year we try to find our positions, couple of positions. Okay. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, we have been, some of you know that companies like Gartner, IDC, HFS Research, everything, these companies, what they do is they conduct periodic research, and what they do is they will ensure that their as a Cognizant stands as part compared to our competition on each of these segments. Okay, so for example, healthcare or retail or anything. So if you look at it, we are being in the leader for most of the areas. If you look at be it technology, be it infrastructure, be it business domain. So all these organizations, Gartner, HFS, Forbes, everybody has been marked as a leader in all these areas, and these are the latest ones. You can go to, this is public information, it's available over the internet. You can go back and check it for yourself as well. Any questions? So before I go further, guys, I know this is a placement thing, but I wanted to ask you a fundamental question, right? Can you guys identify these three things in my screen? I think first one maybe quite easy.
Like a ticket. The ticket, sir?
Yeah, first one is a ticket, yes. Second one?
Virtual projection.
Sorry?
Virtual projection.
Virtual presentation, okay. Sorry, somebody said something else.
My name is Raviraj. I'm from second IT. The second picture is virtual projection.
Virtual projection, okay. Do you know what that is? I have taken that from somewhere.
I think it's
It's from Star Wars.
Yes, exactly.
Star Wars
Yes.
movie.
The Star Wars movie. Do you know which one? Okay, forget it. I am not going to. Yeah. Third one. Third one is, if you don't know, I'll say it's something called Smart Cup. Okay. So this is developed by a person called Chris Koenig in United States. So I'll come to that, okay? So the reason I posted these three things is these things represents different eras, okay? So for example, the first one, the train ticket, right? The train ticket. I don't know how many of you have seen this today. Very few might have, but I have used this because we used to, when in the late 80s and 90s, there were railway stations which are not connected to computer. So people, they used to issue tickets like this. Even in a reservation ticket also, they'll write it on the side next to that, saying that this is your berth number, etc., and you can go in and do it. So, but from there, the things have changed that you can do your reservation on a mobile app, and all the thing is an SMS, you'll get it and you can travel. That's the world has changed, okay? Excuse me, those who are not speaking.
I kindly request all other members to keep your mobile in the mute mode. Lot of disturbances are coming. I repeat, kindly keep your mobile in the mute mode. Thank you. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And the second one is from the movie Star Wars. I think it is the second movie. So you know the Star Wars series, right? So it came 1, 2, 3 came in 80s, and 4, 5, and 6 came in the 70s. Okay. So this was, I think this is from the movie, sixth movie, I think, The Return of the Jedi or something. Okay, I remember I had to check it out, but still. So this is nothing but a hologram. Okay. So the reason I wanted to put this out here is, see, the idea of hologram today is, if you look at it, we have seen that. I have seen this in 2012 time frame, and organizations, news organizations like CNN showed it in public television, and I have seen that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done a hologram based presentation very recently. And even, but in 1970s, George Lucas, the producer and the director of Star Wars, came up with this idea, and what you see on the right side is they call it a droid robot, and robot was able to show what Princess Leia or somebody, I think it was Princess Leia or somebody, delivering a message to this, I forgot, Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay? Obi-Wan Kenobi. So basically, there was an idea, okay, somebody had an idea that this can be done. And over the time, so what I mean to say is, over the time people had these ideas, but it was practically very difficult to do it, etc., all these things. But see, if you look at it today, it is possible. Okay, from these things, right, from these things, we have moved into a world where I talked about smart cups, right? So Chris Koenig is a person who come up with, you go to Google and search the word smart cups, you will see it. So he came up with this fantastic idea. So when he was having, he's a brilliant man who studied chemistry, only child of an immigrant mom from Cuba and immigrant dad from Turkey, lived in United States, New Jersey, I think, and then he's extremely brilliant man. So he came up with this idea of smart cups. What is it? It's nothing but a cup, biodegradable cup, printed with its ingredients. All you need to do is you need to pour water, and you can buy a Pepsi cup, I'm saying a Coke cup, or a apple juice cup or whatever those cup, you can pour water into that and drink it. That's it. You don't need to, this whole thing you can replace your soda can, soda bottles, everything all over the world. It will have a significant impact on the environment. These are the type of things the world is, because the reason I want to say is this is how the world has changed from 1980s to till now, because we have seen a revolution. It's a technology or ideas, everything. The revolution, it's like a revolution. Okay, and over the last 1 year, right, when COVID hit us, we have accelerated that. Like whatever you could achieve in 10 years, it was achieved, or 10, 20 years, it was achieved in just a year. For example, who would have thought that a simple person, somebody who has a stitching machine can stitch a mask? Nobody would have thought about that, right? So those are the things, and people started coming up with ideas and ideas and ideas, and now look at it, right? We are earlier it used to take 3 or 4 years to bring a COVID vaccine, any vaccine for that matter. We are able to bring that vaccine so fast because that was very, very important for all of us to survive, right? So things have changed a lot. Okay. So this, so I think you guys are, but I think what I would suggest is in the next course of these things, I will give you certain things which you have to keep it in mind, be it placement or be it you are going to work. Okay. Okay. So so all of us agree that the world have changed, right? So world has changed in a long way from the last 20 years. Okay. So how it has changed? One, so our shopping habits has changed completely. Our entertainment, sports has become an entertainment mainly, because it's no longer it's in 1992 or 94 when you watch a cricket, it was more or less, it was never an entertainment. It was more of a sports. All of us watch it very vigorously, everything. But now IPL is more of an entertainment. It's like a movie. You enjoy it. You don't carry. There are hardcore followers, but and your teaching, if you look at it, has gone drastically changed, right? Drastic in the sense, in a good way. So what exactly happened, right? So you had earlier days when your professors or anybody of that matter, when they were studying, they dependent on teaching faculty to give them information, teaching faculty to, because if you have to get a book, you have to go to, see, for example, somebody who is studying in the outskirts of Bangalore, for that matter, if they have to get a book, they have to come to Bangalore. There is a shop called Sapna Book House in NG Road. You go there, you have to call up that guy and ask him to buy that book, keep it there. And the thing is, I have done that, okay, because you have to, not many bookstores keep those kind of books. Then you take it, then you do all the things what your students do. It is a Xerox copy, Xerox it, distribute it, study it. But today, if you look at it, your education has become more and more democratized, right? So you have professors, you have your seniors, you have access to wealth of information, you have access to all the libraries around the world. It's no longer what you learn in the classroom, right? And work, if you look at it, right? I'll ask this question, I think, ask this question, right? So, for example, some of the, see, I'm 47 years old, right? So, some of the people of my age, or anything for that matter, so, when they started my career, when they started their career, right? So they have limited choices. Okay, it's not that they can work anywhere or anything they wanted to do. I mean, ask your. I would suggest you ask your professors as well, right? So, do they have a choice? See, the choices in earlier days was, hey, you can either choose a government job, you can go to a public sector unit, or you can work for a private company, which very less people. And then over the period, things change. All over the world, things change. Now people may work or may not work, because if you have an idea, you don't need to work. Actually, you can take that idea to market and start your own company and take it forward. Okay, so but all these things are fine. But the thing is, for this, there are certain steps, right? Fundamental thing is, you need to understand what you are studying. You need to understand how the world is moving, and you need to understand which job or which company or what is the employer you need to choose, or whom you should work for. Okay, so that's very, very important. That's where I think I wanted to talk about it, right? So over the period, how the industry and the world has changed, right? So if you look at it, earlier days, people used to, it was like a stiff competition among people, among peers, everything. It was like, even if you look at government service or for that matter anywhere, etc. But nowadays what is happening is people are no longer competing. They are collaborating, because it's not about your designation, it's not about your paycheck what you earn, or it's not about the company you work for. It is about the idea, it's about the people you work for, it's about how you can create an ecosystem where all of us can thrive. Okay, that's the reason, right? If you look at it, you look at today, right? So you have e-commerce like Amazons are there, you have your Swiggies are there, you have your things are there. See, but still there are shops which are opened. People go to that shop, buy the things. People go to the restaurants, eat in the restaurants of Zomato's of the world, and deal. So it's more or less more and more businesses, more and more people are adapting towards collaborating each other, making sure and that's why shared economy, collaboration, all these things has picked up very, very big in the last few years. Okay, and second part is, right, so I don't know how many ladies are there in this as part of the student community here. I assume it is around 30-40%, at least 50%.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay. So the reason I'm saying is
greater than 60.
Greater than 60, wonderful. Actually, that's a great thing. Actually, because I always believe in believe in equality, and that this is very, very important. The reason is 10 or 20 years back, right? So you can hardly count how many CEOs. I mean, the benchmark of CEOs I'm taking is just because that is one of the top things you can achieve from a company, from a private sector you work or anything like that. But so it's very hardly 4 or 5 or less than 10, right? But look at today, right? So more and more women are becoming entrepreneurs, more and more women are becoming collaborative, and they are springing up ideas, everything. So so that's what I'm saying. It's no longer a gender based, because you are a man you get certain privileges, and you are a woman you won't get certain opportunities. Nothing like that. You can do whatever you want. That is the world today. And second, this is a bad thing for companies like us, right? But it's a good thing for students like you, because this is no longer an employer market. See, it's not that I can go and pick people from wherever I want, pick and choose people. Of course, I will do that, because companies has to do that, because we have to get the best talent out of everywhere, right? But the thing is, today's world, you as a employee goes out, you have a wider choice of things to do. You have a lot of options. Like I said earlier, right? You can either choose a Cognizant or an Accenture or a Deloitte of the world, or an IBM, or you can choose you can start with your own ideas, and you can build your own company, okay, and sell it to Facebook or whoever you want it. Okay, so that is so people have more options today. Then third thing, so earlier days when you work for an organization, so they always, for a factory for that matter, right? So they always wanted people to work from certain areas, and some of the factories continue to do that. I'm not saying that some of them may not be able to, but at least in the services industry, it's no longer the case, right? You can work anywhere from the world. So today, because of our infrastructure, connectivity, internet, etc., you can remotely work and collaborate and take it forward. That won't be an issue at all. Okay, that is key for that. Fourth thing is we have in today's world, right? We have around 4 generations working in the same workplace. Okay, so for example, take my family, right? Take my family. In my family, we have I have my uncle who is working, I am working, and my nephews and nieces who are working today, right? So I'm saying, if you look at organizations also, I have seen in Cognizant where people who have been working for a while, their children or their nieces or somebody who is already there. So at least I have seen 2 generations. But the thing is, it's very very important that we have multiple generations working together. What is a good thing of this, right? So we always say, hey, it is multiple generations working is always a bad thing. Sometimes I was under the impression that, but the thing is, you have there is something called cross-pollination, right? So you can take ideas from somebody who has seen the technological evolution before all these things started, and you can take it and implement it, because some of you know the world through Facebooks or Googles of the world, right? Some of them you may not know it before that, before Facebook, what was that, or news, you take it from Facebook. But there are people who are much more, so take those things, collaborate it, work it, and make sure it's great. Okay, that's why when you have multiple people, multiple generations, multiple type of people in the same workplace. Fifth thing is, it's no longer about, no company talks about hierarchy anymore, okay, except for government, okay, for that matter, government and the forces always have hierarchy, but and government is also changing for that matter, right? So if you have an idea, government is also asking for the idea and they'll take it. But companies, for that matter, it is less hierarchical. This is how it doesn't care. See, if you are going to work for Cognizant, you can always send an email to the CEO. Okay, so it has to be something. So in order to get a response from that person, you have to make sure that you need to put something tangential, put something meaningful to that. Otherwise, a hi, how are you may not fetch any results. But at least if because CEO's time for him also, for all of us it's at the same time, but he has to manage a whole company, whereas we have to manage only the small area of the work we have to do. So it's no longer, people doesn't work for money, people don't care about hierarchy. If you are hierarchical, nobody cares about it. So you have to talk to me first before you go into my boss. Nobody cares about all those things. Those days are gone. That is how the industry has changed. That is how the world has changed. So that is what Cognizant is. Cognizant is empowering our people. So that is why I think when we come to pre-placement or when we come to placement, right? So we see some of these things in you to ensure that, hey, can you work in an environment which enables all these factors? So what are the things you as a person can bring into the table? So always you ask a question, right? So when we come to you, hey, what is that Cognizant is going to give you? It's not about Cognizant going to give you or any company going to give you. It's about mutual. See, what is that you are going to bring in and what is that we are going to bring you. So we offer you a wealth of knowledge, wealth of opportunities everywhere, anywhere in the world you can work it. But how do you utilize this and make sure it is how do you make sure that these are the things you can take it forward and build a better ecosystem for Cognizant for tomorrow? Any questions? Feel free to ask, okay, because I don't want to I don't want this to be a monologue, okay? Okay, so
how is remote working helping the companies nowadays?
It is helping us significantly. For example, right? See, me, Shiva, and Parvati, all of us are in. Shiva used to be in Chennai. Parvati also was in Chennai, and we are in. I'm in Bangalore. Okay, so we are working for the last 1 year working together. So once this COVID came in, Shiva had to move to Delhi for his personal reason. So one of the things how it helped is had there been not a COVID situation and Shiva has some personal challenges, so I'm just quoting that as an example, okay, and he has to work from Chennai and he won't be able to concentrate on his work. Now that he is in Delhi, he can take care of his personal stuff, and at the same time he can work also, contribute also, which makes our company, makes it more productive, right? So he will have one less worry. So that is one part of it. Second part of it is people are more and more flexible, okay, because right now, so I don't know, do you know about Bangalore traffic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys have heard, right? So
yes, we know.
You know, right? So Bangalore, see, our office is based out of the north side of Bangalore, and the people has to travel from the south side of Bangalore. It takes 2 hours for a person to reach at any given point, even if you take public transport also, which is the best in sometimes, but car and all, it's worst. Okay, so it takes 2 hours. So think about it this way, right? So when a person, a manager who has his children, or a manager, or for that matter who has his children studying in school, and he or she can spend some additional hours, 2 plus 2, 4 hours, he or she has to spend on the road, there he or she will be working also during the bus, something, a company bus, they will be connected to the some. But the thing is, at least that much strain won't be there, that much your health will be better and everything, and you can spend better time with your family also. So those are some of the things which helps us. And the third thing is, with all these technologies like Teams or everywhere, even if I'm sure that personal connect is very, very important. I'm not saying that we can always work remotely and talk remotely. No, nothing like that. Because I make a point to go and visit my friends who was working in Bangalore. Every month we will connect outside, just make sure that with all code, protocol, everything, just to make sure that we socialize things. Otherwise, what happens is there might be a challenge where, hey, you may miss a lot of things. Okay, that's one thing. But the thing is, it gave us a quality life for a lot of the people today. That's one, and which benefited.
Definitely, sir. Thank you very much for your sparing that. No, socially you get connected, and you are knowing about your other members, how they socially get connected.
Yeah.
And personal attention also you are taking care. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So see, the thing is, I'll tell you this one. Last 20 years, I'm working on the industry, and we talk about customer experience, we bring in channels, mobile, everything. But the thing is, most important thing is, nothing can replace the personal connect. No machine, no technology, nothing can replace the personal connect. When somebody needs you, you need to be there. That's very, very important, right? So that is, forget about all these tools and technology is going to help you enable that, that's all. That's what our companies like us, because even if I work for a retail company, a retail customer, see what we suggest is, be it a luxury retailer or a small retailer, we always tell them, right, your customers, you as a retail store manager should know your customers. If you don't know your customers, then you are a big failure. So these tools will help you know your customers better. That's the right thing, and give them better choices as well.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, so the next thing is, see, as students, right? So this is exclusively for you guys, okay? So I talked about how the world has changed, how the industry is moving on, what are we expecting when we come to you and talk about all these things. But the thing is, your effort. So when the entire world is changing, you cannot stand. See, what happens is, when your entire crowd is moving, and if you stand still, sometime you will lose out. Okay, so what I would suggest to you is, there are things like you should do. One is you have to stay connected to what is happening around the world. So what is happening around the world, you can read through blogs, internet. There are various available, and ask your seniors or peers, whoever that is, and open to ideas. Okay, and the thing is, that is the only way. So somebody tells you that there is a better way to do things, be open to that. That is for everybody, right? It's not for students, it's for your teachers, or for us. Our company also says that, right? So somebody else has tried a better way to manage their employees or manage a project. We always try to take that and do it. Even though we have a proprietary system where we can manage things better way. No. If there is a much better way to do things, we always look forward that, and that is what we expect from our people also. Okay, and because that is the only way we can grow in this situation, we can adapt in this situation and make this world a better one. Second thing is, look for opportunities. Okay, always look for opportunities to learn. Okay, because the reason I am saying is, see, if you look at artificial intelligence and other things like that, right? Some of these artificial intelligence stuff, right? So how people does it? It comes up. So you go back to I think I'll try to find out that internet link, YouTube link, and send it. Try to send it before this call. There is a video about how the data scientist, and technology specialist learns from ants who is there in the world about artificial intelligence, how they pass information to each other, how they are connected in the world, and making sure it's a better one, right? So you need threat for that matter, etc., etc. So these are the opportunities you need to take it, learn it. That is the best way, because learn from every way. Anywhere you can learn. That's not learning is a continuous process. And please remember, right? When you step into a technology, when you step into not a technological, when you step into the new world after your graduation, right? It's no longer the old ways of, hey, you do X number of things and you get a job. X number of years you will get certain promotion. It's no longer you learn. So many things, you adapt to the new world, you change yourself, move to the new role. Like that is what it is. If you don't learn or adapt, you'll stay in your older positions or older roles, and what happens is after some time, sometimes you might stay. It's not that you might get checked out or anything, but no. But sometimes you may become, if that technology or if that process or if that company it gets replaced, you will get replaced. Okay, so always look for opportunities to learn and grow. And growth is not about a position or changing your salary or changing your designation. Becoming a better role, performing a newer role, learning a new technology. That is what the growth you should aspire for. So rest all the things will follow you, like promotion, salaries, everything, jobs, everything will follow you. You should not be worried about any of those things, because that's one thing people will ask. Hey, if I join today, can I become a manager in X number of years? You do the right thing, you don't even need to worry about it. You will become that. And the most important thing, right? So see, you have the knowledge, you have connected, you have the marks, you have all the good things. But if you are not flexible, if you are not transparent, if you are not open, this world is not for you. Okay, so that is what I think. That's a message we always tell our associates. You have to be flexible, right? Because flexibility doesn't mean that, hey, you have a vacation, your mother is or you have a vacation or your mother is sick, but you have to come and be flexible, finish your project. No, nothing like that. But if you have to be flexible, how do you manage it and adjust it and move on, right? It's not that if there is a medical emergency, you have to come stay in the office, fix your project. No, nothing like that. Everybody understands that when certain things you cannot move around, but we have to come up with things where we can make it more and more, because when you work as a team, right? When you work as a team, one person's inability to being flexible can ruin the whole system. Okay, so that is where I think you have to be very, very clear and make sure that you are taking care of that. Okay, so that's very important for all of us. So these are the three things I wanted to leave it with you, because this is very, very key for anybody. If tomorrow you step into any industry for that matter, not only IT industry, any industry for that matter. Okay. And I think this is I will hand over from here. I'll hand over this to Shiva, who will talk about the trends and the industry from an technology expectations, etc. Right. So all of us were hit. Everything was fantastic till 2019 November, December. Everything. Then all of a sudden, virus came in Wuhan and it swept the entire world. And now we are looking at genetically modified something, and we don't know how it's going to end. And hopefully we are thinking that hopefully 2021 may be a better one, right? So during this, I think I started in the beginning of the saying that this whole world has changed over the last 10 or 20 years. And in the last 1 year, we have significantly improved so many things, right? For that matter, look at the first thing, right? So that is a classroom of students who are learning things. These are all small kids who are learning through. My niece used to come visit me once in a while, every 2 to 3 months, 1 week she'll stay with me. And the thing is, one thing I realized was she is in 5th standard today. Okay, I think she's in 5th standard today. Okay, she knows how to operate a Teams, and the reason I'm surprised is I saw a computer. So let me put it this way: I saw a physical computer when I was 19 years old. Okay, in my college finally, 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old. In my college final year, there we had a computer lab setup, and it's not a lab exactly. That's the external agency came and set it up in the college, and at that point is what I saw it. And you have to, so I don't know what the computer, till that time I know only something called typewriter. Computer, I have seen the computer in pictures, etc. And I studied about a computer in my physics subject in 10th standard, but those are all, that's all the knowledge I had. But when I was graduating in mathematics, there was a computer at that point, and I knew, and you read about computers in newspaper, everything, but the things is, but today look at every child at the age of 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 is maybe too much, but 3 or 4 maybe in the first standard or second standard understands computer. Some of they will be able to use computer, at least to the, because the world has changed so much. And look at us, right? So we people, so many of us were reluctant to do shopping over Amazon, or for that matter any e-commerce site, because of various reasons. One is we wanted to go and talk to people. Second, but I think COVID has changed that. COVID has reset that expectations very well. Now that we are doing shopping in Amazon, as well as this is not for the younger generation, but for the generations like above 40 and all this. It has become a mix right now, where people are going, and people now look at how banking works, right? Or how that matter. See, earlier you have to pay your electricity bill. It's much easier. Earlier days you have to go to the electricity office, go get it paid. All these things, some of these things before COVID itself, it has not, but COVID has accelerated so many things. And our office works. I think one gentleman asked, I think, about how our offices has changed. This is how our offices has changed. So we are there, we are all over the time, we are on video, talking to them, talking to each other, understanding, presenting, and making sure. And our entertainment platforms has changed. So IPL has gone abroad and did something, and we have OTT platforms which are streaming movies and etc. So many things, and YouTube, people are doing short films in YouTube, everything. So it has world has it has opened a plethora of opportunities for all of us, right? So some of them before COVID, and after COVID it has become more and more easier for all of us, okay? And thanks to the internet revolution, thanks to the mobile phone revolution, thanks for the computer revolution, and thanks for all the people who has worked so many last 2-3 decades to make this happen, right? Because otherwise it didn't come in one day. So this is what, and that is what helped us to overcome COVID. I'm not saying that we are fully immune of COVID, or we can, no, nothing like that, but at least there is an opportunity for us. But had this happened in 10 years back, right? Had this COVID thing happened 10 years back, I mean, people will go out, there is less mobile phones, lesser things in the world, e-commerce was not that strong, all these things were there. We could have ended up in a bigger challenge, right? So, but today, because of so many of these technology revolutions, it has helped us. So, this is what you need to see in the world. You need to look at the company which is going to have, which you are going to work in the future. When we come for placements, we look forward to adapt to these things and be flexible, be open, and learn and more. So, with this, Shiva, I'll hand over to you. Okay, Shiva, I would suggest if you can pull up your deck and present it, if that would be great.
Sure, Radha, I'll just do that.
Because I have a hard stop at 12:30. Okay, that's the reason, Shiva, in case if it...
Let me know if my screen is visible.
I'll stop sharing. It is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Is the presentation visible, Radha?
Yes.
Okay. So,
yes, it is visible and we are audible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for having us. And thanks, Radha, for giving a very clear picture and a philosophical picture on life. My part in this presentation is basically tell the students the technology. We have always lived in a world and we play the game, right? But the rules of the game have changed. The skills required to succeed, I will say, or prosper in short term has changed. And though I was told in this while reading your brochure, there are a lot of people who are non-engineers. Let me tell you, the CEO of Cognizant is not an engineer. He is a commerce graduate, and so am I. But I have coded, right? So Cognizant is open to all streams of students, not just engineers. And I know people who are doctors in Cognizant. I know people who are lawyers in Cognizant. And so your background, your social background, ethnicity, nothing matters. What matters in Cognizant is what you contribute to your team and what value you bring in. So that is where Cognizant is a very fair employer, and it treats you according to your merit. And you have to be the Sachin Tendulkar if you want to succeed. My job over here is to tell you which shot you can select, or what are the shots or cover drive or hook shot which you can play to prosper within Cognizant. So if you see core engineering sectors, right, whether we have we have manufacturing, we have automotive, we have logistics, we have construction. According to a report by McKinsey, which is one of the leading consultants of the world, they say things will get back to normal by 24-25. That is basically 2024 and 25. However, if you see the sectors which are least impacted by COVID are basically healthcare and information services, which is basically information technology. Why information technology and healthcare is least affected is because if you fall sick, you need a doctor to come in and help you, and if you really have to do something, whether shop or order something, you require IT or e-commerce or some other platform, even to call an Uber to travel. You need a mobile, right? Where does that come from? It comes from information technology. So the core sectors of engineering, which we used to call, right, we are in the core mother branch. The system has changed. Sometimes maybe the grandchildren is doing better in the parent-child relationship than the core mother. So that's how, at least after COVID, this is what has happened. And it will take 5 years to get back into core engineering. So if you want to get placed in companies like Crompton Greaves and Mahindra, the orders are down, the inventory has piled up. There are so many cars right now, and there are not many buyers. I was getting an offer from Maruti, the car which was for 5.5 lakhs in Chennai on road, the dealer was ready to give me for 4 lakhs. So that is the condition. So if they are ready to sell a car for 4 lakhs, I'm not sure how much they are rewarding their employees as of now. Whereas in companies such as Cognizant have a very rewarding experience, and they give a fulfilling experience. You can choose a host of streams within Cognizant. I'll just move forward to what are those particular streams. So when I said why is IT insulated and are we on a growth trajectory, it is clear we were future ready. Information technology is a sector which has always been looking ahead, and it has gone on harnessing the power of digital right from day one. Radha showed you a train ticket, right? With IT, you can book it to Make My Trip, you can book it through IRCTC. You have a host of platforms available where you can book a train ticket. You can even book a bus ticket on that bus, right? Where is that coming from? All those technologies are powered by IT services companies such as Cognizant. So if you see how technology is heading, there are two main type of IT companies. One is a product or a platform company like SAP, and then there are service integrators. The advantage with service integrators such as Cognizant offers is you get to work in a host of technology across areas. So you could work in healthcare, you could work in banking, you can work in retail such as me, you can work in energy sector, you can work in utilities, which is basically the water companies. You can do anything and everything possible within Cognizant. If there is a business, Cognizant is there. And what kind of services does Cognizant provide? Whether it is basically your core application coding to build a particular company, or help companies such as major companies to have a set of platforms or enhanced solutions. So for example, if I have a library system from SAP or some Oracle, Cognizant will help you maintain that system, because generally these big product companies or platform companies, they just have a product but they don't have the service. In very simple language, if I say, if I buy a car from Maruti, the Maruti will just give you the car, but the service center is an affiliate of Maruti. They are not owned by Maruti or Suzuki or Mahindra, right? So those are the kind of companies, the value add. If you want a new stereo, Maruti or Mahindra will not fit that stereo into your car, but you have to go to some other player to get that enhancement. That is the kind of value add companies such as Cognizant deliver in terms of technology, right? you have your Cisco lines or you have your MS Teams on which we are talking. How is that particular MS Teams is just a platform or a product or right or a service. But how is that getting maintained? It is getting maintained through a host of telecom companies and service integrators such as Cognizant, which are delivering you this seamless experience. In today's world, it is all about experience. So, how Gartner, which is a very reputed research firm, rates experiences, it has to be A, people centric, that is, it makes our life easier. B, the place we live in, it makes the place a better world to live in. So there are 10 important trends which are rated by Gartner in 2020 and have been accelerated due to COVID. So first trend which we talk about is hyper automation. A very simple example of before I delve into what is hyper automation, let me talk about automation. So for example, there is how do I put it? Okay, so let's take an example of your college. I will give a hypothetical example. If 90% of the students have a GPA of 8, a trigger mail will go to the chairman of the college along with all the HODs and the principals that this 90% of the students have secured more than a GPA of 8 for the university, right? This is called a rule-based automation, what we call RPA or robotic process automation. However, if I want to say that a particular uh, white paper which has been written by one of the professors, can that be patented or not? That is a AI system, right? Which we call hyper automation. A perfect example, if you would have seen, is Google. So if you want to go and get a haircut, especially in USA, you just tell Google that, okay, Google, I want a haircut. And Google on your behalf will place a call to a nearby hairdresser and they will get an appointment fixed at a salon, right? So that's how advanced it has been. If you look at chatbots or something like Siri, you can talk with them. That is another example of hyper automation. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Any questions on hyper automation? Okay, let's move forward. So then we come to multi-experience. So what is multi-experience? Multi-experience, the best example is Domino's. We all order pizzas, right? So what multi-experience says is earlier people just used to look at a laptop or a PC. This philosophy of multi-experience tells you the whole world is a computer, right? I can order Domino's pizza via app. There is another application which is tracking that particular pizza, whether it is getting prepared, where is it, and in US there are autonomous cars which can deliver the pizza at your home, right? So for example, if I am at your university or your college, which is a little, let's say, which is a little far away from core Coimbatore city, the nearest Domino's in Coimbatore city will send a car which will drive automatically to the college, to your hostel block, and give you a call stating your pizza has come. uh, just to take a step forward, companies such as Amazon are using drones to deliver packages, right? So this whole thing of getting the digital world, getting meshed with physical world. Best example is basically your online classes, right? Once that happens, when you have online classes via Zoom or MS Teams, that is a multi experience. But for me, what multi experience is, for in terms of a meme, is if I can download food right online, that is where actually multi experiences come in, and this is actually happening. We have 3D printed food which is coming in, so you can make a veg burger or a veg patty and print it. So we have bioorganic food which is coming up, right? So this is how the world has changed. Third thing which is very important to people is knowledge cannot be banked. It is available to everyone. This is what we call democratization. People are, there is a very strong movement for equality. So earlier the masters of the world, right, financial masters of the world like Mastercard, American Express, they had privileged information. What kind of spending habits do I have? How much money I am earning? How much money I am spending? And then they used to offer me personalized services. Or and now this is available by via civil score to everybody, right? If I am a good person who can get a loan or not. your CIBIL score tells you, and it is accessible to every bank. For example, if you have a thesis paper, if you want to talk about computer aided design and computer aided modeling, earlier you had to go to your professor, as Radha earlier pointed out, and your professor will guide you. Right now, you have video lectures available on YouTube. My One of my friends who has done material engineering, he was telling me he could not understand the book, the strength of materials. Right, it was a very complicated subject. So he looked at YouTube videos of foreign authors and professors, and that's how he learned. Right, in some universities, digital signal processing is a very complicated subject. People find it very hard to pass. This for the non-IT guys, electronics guys, right? So how do you do it? They talk to seniors, or they look at YouTube videos, or they have online learning platforms which will help you understand. The next experience is human augmentation, right? Human augmentation is basically smart prosthetics. So if you have people who have unfortunately lost a limb or have reduced body functions, those people who are in medical engineering or medical sciences will understand this better. They need prosthetic limbs, right? Now, if what if we had a smart prosthetic limb which had a sensor or a IoT device which will tell you what is the angle of the foot required to step on and off, right? That is how every technology is aiding humans. This is just one use case or example which I'm talking about. Other examples could be uh, glasses which help colorblind people. So if you have a sunglass which helps you see color, it makes a great experience or a great emotional connect for that person who is colorblind, right? That's one example. Another is military engineering, where they're talking about super soldiers to help them carry more load, right? So this is, if you have seen the movie Matrix, the old one, they had human robots or or robotic exoskeletons, and a human used to sit in and fight the machines. That is what we are talking about. The fifth thing, which all state and central governments are talking about, is transparency and traceability. Right, the biggest beneficiary of this sector would be financial markets and financial services and government sector. So ask your parents about this, and the professors would know. If you have a house, a lot of time the same house or a property can be sold using physical paper to multiple people, right? Banks face this problem of rolling out loans. If you have one house, I need a home loan, I can contact Punjab National Bank, I can contact State Bank of Travancore as well, right? And because they don't have so much of linkage, I can take loans from two different banks. This is not possible anymore. If you use a technology called blockchain, if I have bought a particular house, it will show me that I am the first owner. Now I cannot tamper with that digital ledger or a document. If I'm tampering, it will be highlighted to all the participants: the government, the banks, the social institutions, the local tehsildar, the other land, the revenue department. Everybody can see what kind of changes that I have made, and they can deny those changes. So, for example, a contract cannot be changed, or a legal document or a revenue staff cannot be changed. Another example is people who have fake degrees, right? SNS is a fantastic institution. What if I fake myself as a student of SNS who has completed a PhD or an MTech, right? How is that possible? How do you do that? In old world, my certificate would go to the dean or the principal or the registrar, and they will confirm whether using my roll number whether that is possible or not. Right now, it is possible just by a click using blockchain. QR code will come up and they will tell, SNS can immediately tell, or SNS need not be involved. Online server can tell you, whether my degree is genuine or not. So a lot of third party verifications. If you go to Cognizant, we have a whole process, a third party who will verify your documents. That can be done in, it is a 10 days or a 15 days process. It can be cut down to a day, right? So that is, imagine getting your application processed within a day in a government building or in companies such as Cognizant, right? It makes a whole lot of a difference. You can tell your family, hey, I got placed in Cognizant, and it did not even take me a day to get verified. So that is a kind of difference. That is a joy of living, right? You get your Aadhaar card or you get your driving license verified within a day. You need not go to the RTO or go to the police station for all that stuff. That is what transparency is talking about. It is coming in the West. Slowly, it will come to India as well. If you have any doubts, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, I will take that. Maybe we can have this a little later. So the next set of trends that are surrounded are in the workplace or the place we live in. So we have been talking about empowered edge, which is nothing but IoT, Internet of Things, your smart sensors, right? So imagine in India we don't have such retail stores, but if you go to US, you will find a retail store with a smart sensor around its wall. It will immediately give a notification to your mobile that hey, you are near my shop. Why don't you shop this at 20% off? Right? Imagine going to a bookstore and you get a notification that your particular book on fluid dynamics is available at 15% off or 20% off, right? Or you can buy a 1+1 offer on that, or you get notebook free with that book, right? Imagine those set of offers. So it really promotes shopping. This is just one use case. And another idea is, so this IoT is the foundation of building a smarter world. If you are in a building and it's getting cold, and the sensor will tell you it is very cold, and suddenly automatically the heater turns up, the centralized heating system turns up, or it is very warm, centralized air conditioner starts working. Imagine a building where we have a threat of coronavirus, right? Automatically air purifiers can start working it once it is detected. So that is the power of sensors which we are coming through, and that's where non-IT engineers have a big deal to work in, right? Electronics, we talk a lot about electronics. It is not picking up in India, but with this IoT slowly coming to fold, excuse me, uh, empowered edge coming in, a lot of electronics engineers will find a lot of jobs in companies such as Cognizant to make dreams come forward, right? Next is distributed cloud. So to empower these machines, right now everything is centralized. So if you see, if I have a particular car, a self-driving car, imagine, and it is the server where it takes all the decisions are placed somewhere in Chennai, but you are in Coimbatore. How do you do that? By the time the signals are sent forward, the car can meet with an accident. So we are building devices which have a lot of memory, local memory, and AI systems can work in them. So you will have a self-driving car with its own localized server in a way, right? Which can take on the spot decisions and avoid accidents and give you a safer driving experience. Kindly note, everything now revolves around the experience of people. In Cognizant, we call it consumer experience. You can call it some other word, but it is basically the joy of living and living a very hassle-free life. That is what companies such as Cognizant deliver in the end, right? It is delivered through technology, that is, and one way of doing it is distributed cloud. Okay. Another thing which is connected to this is autonomous. So best example is Tesla. How many of you have heard of Tesla? Anybody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, we have heard about that cars and all.
Yeah. So what is the best thing about Tesla? Can you tell me something?
So please ask one at a time, and the others please keep it in mute mode so that we can avoid the disturbance.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you're right. Tesla, why it is unique is because the level of self-driving technology it has is more than level 3. So there are 5 levels of self-driving cars. Level 1 is your sensors. Level 2, it will help you park, right? Level 5 is where you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit back and relax. We are right now in this current world, we are at level 3. Tesla offers this best level 3 or level perhaps level 4 experience as of now for practical reasons, right? So in this autonomous things, everything is driven by IoT because you require the sensors to tell the car that you are near an object to avoid accident or to maintain a particular speed, which we call cruise control, right? You need an AI system to let the car think and predict what is going to happen in the next future. Just mimic the brain activity, which we call deep learning, right? And have a shared set of experiences. If something else has happened to somebody else in the past, have that, which we call experiential learning. This is also embedded in AI model. And since in cars we call it the case model, which is basically connected, autonomous, shared, and electric. Shared in the world, the Uberization has happened, right? Everybody both uses Uber and Ola these days. Nobody uses normal taxis anymore. I mean, a set of people do use it, but it's less. So that's what it's all about, sharing as of now. And electric, because we want to make it eco-friendly. The next thing which we talk about is practical blockchain. Practical blockchain is basically, which I talked about earlier, it was connected to this point of transparency and traceability. So the best example which we have implemented in Cognizant in one of our labs is a lot of counterfeit watches and experience and luxurious items are available on the market, sorry, which cause retailers and a lot of other companies a huge deal of loss. So if you have some kind of a marking system like a BIS, right, which is embedded, but imagine a BIS to be very user friendly. I can just see it and check the authenticity of particular gold bracelet, gold watch, a gold chain, a Mangal Sutra, whether it is actually 22 karat gold or not. Right now I have to look at the particular bangle and see if 916 is written, which is for 22 karat gold. But imagine if a lot of people don't know this. But what if a blockchain was available and you can actually, it was embedded in that particular gold bracelet or watch or chain, and it can tell you whether it is actually 22 karat gold and it has come from a clean mine where there is no conflict involved. It has not come from those areas in Africa where there is child labor involved. That is what blockchain offers. The next thing is AI security. Your banking passwords. We do a lot of transactions. My father always tells me, always log out. Never share your password. The bank tells us why. Because any hacker can, know our password. Now imagine there is no human hacker, but just based on your behavior, somebody can predict your password. That is AI based hacking. Now, to beat a AI, you need AI, right? So it can identify those patterns, how the attacks are coming into your system, and protect you, protect your environment, and protect your financials. So if you have a independent patent, right, or your SNS has filed for a patent, we don't want anybody, you know, there should not be any kind of intellectual theft. How that happens is if somebody tries to steal a technology, AI will stop it. Especially it is a software related technology, right? It will not allow you to copy that work. That is what happens. The best examples which professor use are anti-plagiarism software. In my MBA, what used to happen, we used to have this thesis in the final semester, and I used to submit it. At times, there were some people who were very smart. They used to simply copy paste from the net and submit it as a hard copy. So our professor used to tell us always submit an e-copy, and he used to run that anti-plagiarism or anti-copying software. So if a paragraph is copied, he will simply reject that particular thesis or white paper, right? So this is how AI security is helping in the uh, these are the 10 major trends. I would like to add the 11th one, which is quantum computing or quantum mechanics. If you have studied physics, we live in a world which is macro world and the atomic world, or where we look at beyond quark experiment and string theory. That's where quantum mechanics comes in. And quantum computing is next 20 years where it comes. It's like fusion technology for all of us. So imagine a computer which will have unlimited processing speed, right? So the latest quantum computer which is built by Google has solved a mathematical calculus problem in 200 seconds, which a supercomputer, the fastest computer in the world, will take 10,000 years to process. That is where our technology is going in. So these are the major trends, 10 major trends which I talk about. Next, I will hand over to Parvati. She will tell you the underlying technology which are driving these trends. If you have any doubt, please let me know.
All right. Thank you,
Sir, good
Shiva.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Please go ahead with your question.
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in the empowered edges, as you said previously, a person while moving near a multi-brand shop, he will receive a notification that there is an offer, such stuffs. So, what will be his privacy concern, sir, in that? Because the message is sent to him or her without his point of knowledge. So that what will be his privacy concern, sir?
That's a very good question, and that is where ethics come in. So, though right now in US, what is happening is only those people who consent to cookies and consent to all these applications, they get a notification. If I am a very private person and I say no, I don't want this facility and I will not switch on my Bluetooth, I will not get those notifications. So it's a trade that you have to do. If you want to hide your digital track, or which we call digital exhaust, wherever you are moving, right? If you are using Google Map, or Google Map tracks you automatically, you will leave a digital trail of the places you have traveled to, and accordingly Google will pop you those offers, right? Now, if you want to switch off Google Maps, that's up to you. But it's a very good question. What is happening in China, right? There is facial recognition technology using IoT. So imagine I have given my face to Alibaba, and Alibaba can do anything with it. There are ethics. That's where bioethics also come in. We had it's a very gray area. You are very right, and that's what all data scientists, all scientists of the world are trying to deal and say. If you look at genetic engineering, there was a first genetic engineer sheep called Dolly. Can we genetically modify babies? Yes, it is possible with the current set of technology, but as ethics, we don't do it. But in countries such as China, I think they are doing it unofficially. I'm not sure about it, but so that's where it happening. So no amount of education can cross limit ethics. You are a wonderful civil engineer, you can build bridges. You are a wonderful civil engineer, you can use the same knowledge to fly two jets into World Trade Center and destroy those buildings as Osama bin Laden planned, right? So ethics and value based education is something which your professors will impart you. Those are the value systems, whether you want to cheat or not, right? This is something a smart person can cheat in exams, but whether you want to do it or not, that's your calling. Similarly, technologists all around the world, if they decide to cross that red line, there's not much that can be done. But there are consumer forums which protect such interests. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the thing I want to ask to you. But if there is a possibility to send a message, there is also possibility to take the information from the person. So it is the small doubt from my side. So now I'm very clear about it. Thank you, sir.
No, there are laws. For example, in Europe, right, there is something called GDPR laws. So my data cannot be shared by anybody else. Within Cognizant also, I have given access to all my data sets, right? My personal information, my date of birth. But Cognizant has guaranteed me that this set of personal information or Parvati's personal information will never be shared, right? I have given my phone number, I have given my father's number, but this set of data is not shared. It is a legally binding document. If a company such as, let's say, Big Bazaar or Geo does it, then it is a breach of contract, and there are legal and penal provisions to be taken care of, and they are enforced very strictly in countries such as European Union and the United States. Hope that answers, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Parvati, I will hand over you the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. Do you want me to present, or is that what you said?
Up to you.
It's okay.
You want to present? I will just stop sharing my screen.
No, that's all right. If you don't mind, you can just go ahead. It's just a couple of slides, right? I'm interested. Thank you, Shiva. Hey everybody, so you have heard a lot from Radha and Shiva so far on the industry and how it is shaping up, how do we adapt to change and all that. So I'm sure we have overshot the time, right? Apologies for that. Team SNS, I believe we can take another 10-15 minutes more maximum on to go down the story.
Yes, Parvathi, you can take, no problem. Please take. But Parvathi, please continue. You can take another 10-15 minutes now. I don't mind. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for confirming that. So I'm here to tell my experience with Cognizant, right? So why I am with this company for quite a long time, and then how did I manage to break through the campus recruitment? And basically, I'm here to tell you a story of my career and life experiences, and then give you a, vent into what can you guys do to get a good placement opportunity in your hand, right? Shiva, can you move to the next slide, please? Yeah. So all of you are Gen Zs, right? Born with a mobile phone, at least, isn't it? So did you guys know that you all will make the major portion of the entire workforce in the world by 2030? So in this decade, the last decade that we had traversed through in this IT industry, right? We have gone through multiple levels of changes in technology, whatnot. Everything has come into place now, right? Artificial intelligence, AR, VR, IoT, all these new buzzwords have very recently stepped in, and I'm sure in your institution you have enough curriculum to keep that all in mind and give you a very good qualitative education, isn't it? So what do you think is essential to be a completely ready person to top the list of the 30% workforce by 2030? I would like to hear something from you, because there's a prediction that there is going to be millions of skill gap, skill shortage. So what do you think is very essential to bridge this skill gap? What skills are essential in your view? Can someone attempt to answer?
That is learning skill, updating the knowledge, whatever is the latest updation is required, whatever the age it is, whether it is a principal or CEO or the junior most, latest updation of the latest skill is more essential, what I feel. I am the principal, Dr. Sindur Pandya.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thanks for that answer. So, you're right to a point, sir. Technical skill is certainly the base. Whatever the skills are available across the globe, you have to get at least a basic knowledge of all of that, and then depending on your interest, skill up in that particular area, right? So what will essentially build the skill gap in the next decade is for you to embrace the soft skills, not just technical. You're already on that track. So as Gen Z, you are technically empowered. Technology is your ABCD. You have already ticked that mark. So what will make you better to bridge the skill gap is you have to improve your soft skills. When I say soft skills, it's not just about communication. You have to become a people's person. You have to generate that empathy in you, work along with your team, build a lot of creativity. And I saw a very interesting curriculum on your site, right? You have a very set curriculum on design thinking itself. So that is a very critical thing. So critical thinking and all of this will make you a definitely better person at the 2030, at the next decade, right? So that is the need of the decade, is what I would say. All right, so that's how you get yourself going. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is my story with this company, right? I joined here as a campus recruit from PSG Tech. So most of you would have known, just like all of you waiting to get into a company in the next year or so, right? I was also waiting, and fortunately, unfortunately, I was in that batch where recession had badly hit the IT industry, and it was not a cakewalk to get a job, right? So almost 1,200 people, PSG Tech plus some other institutions, right? They came on as an off-campus recruitment, and then of that we had to really compete, and only 300, 350 were selected, and I was lucky enough to be one of them, right? And then I'll tell in the next couple of slides what is so essential to crack your interviews and all of that, and particularly how you have to get yourself ready to become a member of the Cognizant family or any industry for that matter, right? So then I get a job, I go into the company, and what happens? They give you a nice corporate induction, right? You are coming from a completely different family, from a learning family to a corporate family. Don't mind. The HRs and other people out there are very, helping, and they will get you inducted, and you will then be allocated into a training batch. So what is a training batch? It's like it's like a group of people put into a classroom, right? It's like a batch of 20 or 30. You will be tagged probably to 1 or 2 technologies, latest cutting edge technologies, and the basics like .NET, mainframes, all of those, right? And then you will also be aligned to a domain or industry. That's what we say. If you recollect, Shiva talked about the industries we serve, right from banking to insurance to healthcare, life sciences. So it's just cutting across Manlog, retail, whatnot, right? So you get a domain flavor as well as the technical knowledge. You will be put into a training. Of course, you will have to pass certain tests. You will end up making a small project at the end of your training program, and all that will, fall in place. So I managed to do all of that. So what is very important in this training period is, okay, you will have a mentor, you will have HR, everything is all right? But what you tend to learn, you have to go behind, ask questions, challenge people, throw your ideas. Doesn't matter if you have not done that in your college previously, right? So when I was in my training, I had an opportunity to do an MC for a small program. I never had done that in my life before, but I did not shy away from that. I took that opportunity as a challenge, and I still did it, right? And got good appreciations for all of that. So break the ice. It is very, very important to show yourself outstanding in a group, all right? So learning is, as I said, is not just with technology and domain. It's from outside as well, right? When I mean outside, pick everything from the people you meet. There are a lot of good things that you can learn from people. Bad is also fine. It's a lesson, learning that you get out of each of them, right? And certainly, so when you come across all of these, like I said, do not miss any opportunity. Put them into your pocket, make maximum use of it, and excel in that, right? So so I started off as a .NET developer. So I'm basically a computer science engineer. I was put tagged to .NET, and then I started building projects on that and all that, right? As I moved this track for a couple of years, then I realized that luckily enough, I was building a internal website for Cognizant, which talks about the Asia Pacific business as in all the financial holdings and all of that, right? So then I thought that part of the game was interesting, not just coding, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, there's a saying in Tamil, right? Not sure if there are some people who do not follow them. Seivana thirundache. So whatever you do it very properly and holistically. Any bit of thing you start to learn it end to end. Try to understand from a holistic angle, right? Then that will be really helpful for you. So when I started learning all this, okay, I am put into a project, and then okay, where does this project come from? Cognizant has a sales team, has a business team, which wins projects from customers. And once we win a project, all the developers in the project contribute in. You make a product or a service or a website or whatever, and then deliver it back to the customer, right? So this is the technical side of things. So there's the other side called the business angle, right? Where we generate business for the company. So this is when you have to seek a career clarity. You decide what part of technology or what domain, or you want to move into a business track or a technical or domain track. So once you fix this, in the initial 2 years of your career is really crucial, right? So once you fix this, then you have to train yourself accordingly. So as I entered the second year or so in my career, right, I decided I have to do an MBA. I didn't want to quit my job, so took a distance more of MBA, and I completed my MBA in human resources, right? So then I moved from the technical side to the business side. Why I want to emphasize this is, it is not a stringent path always, right? It is not the case that if you enter as a developer, you have to continue as a developer your entire life. No, Cognizant is a very flexible company. If you recollect, Radha was talking about being flexible and all that, right? So it's not just an expectation from your side, even from a company side, it's a very, open and flexible company. So I chose my career. I went to that side of the things, right? And so for you to choose your career and everything, it's very, very important that you identify your right mentor. Look out for people around you, your team, your seniors, whoever it can be, right? Who can guide you to the right path. So that's very important. Top of all, as I said earlier, be a people's person. Take help, what you give comes around, is the saying, right? So help people, take help, only the crybaby gets milk. So shout out for whatever you need, right? So from there on, I moved to take up a role of the senior business analyst, where interestingly, I worked on, hosting clients. So clients will come to your company to visit, to see where you're working out of, what are all the capabilities you have and all of that sorts, right? Clients could be of two types, the existing clients with whom Cognizant is already doing business, and the prospects with whom we want to win business with, right? So it was a wonderful experience to, be formulating the plan of the entire visit. And how I was doing it is I used to research on that company, then understand what strategies they would want to follow, and then tailor a visit in that format, right? So all of this happened, and then learning has to go on and on forever. So you go up your learning curve. And then I was tagged, I got myself tagged to this place called the Retail Innovation Center. So most of our analysts, right, in this product and resources space, we would have that opportunity to work for there for quite something. So what happens there essentially is, right, I'm sure most of you, at least the computer science kids we see here and IT kids we see here, would be exposed to all these labs and latest cutting edge technologies, right? Way back, though PSG was a very brilliant college and still is, right? The maximum luxury we had was a iOS lab, Mac lab we used to call it. So now that's not a case. I saw your brochure, and like you have a innovation lab, bot lab, AR, VR, IoT, product design, whatnot, right? So your college has given you all the facilities in place which makes you really industry ready, right? So grab all those opportunities, put them into maximum. I'm sure you would have heard this yarn from most of people who had lectured you, but it's really, really important. I'll tell you why, because like I said, we were part of this, myself and Shiva, right? We were part of this Retail Innovation Center. And what happens there is, it is just like a retail mall. Walk into a lifestyle store or whatever, right? Just like that, we made a replica inside the office. And as you walk into the store, we would take our clients or whoever the guest who come to inside that entire innovation center to give a complete walkthrough, right? So all these use cases that you have talked about, right? Blockchain, the beacon notification, augmented reality, virtual try-on, for example, of a dress or jewel or sunglasses, facial recognition, and all of that, right? We built small MVPs and use cases, and we have placed that in various sections of the entire mall setup kind of thing, right? So for this, what gets you ready? Sounds interesting, isn't it? So to get ready for all of this, we use a set of full stack developers who build these MVPs, right? In my consecutive slide, I'll talk about what will get you as a full stack developer. All right, so I was into that. We do a lot of reading, research, how the industry trends goes, and then find out what can interest clients and others. We try and build small MVPs in a very agile fashion, right? Now nobody wants to spend a lot of time. Everything agile, right? Very small time we spend, and then we create a little product and put it out there for display, right? So that's what was happening in that role. And then now where I stand right now is trying to generate business for Cognizant. We work with a lot of clients, as I said, new existing ones and the prospects, and a lot of multi-million dollars have worked across predominantly on the global growth markets region, right? Just the whole world minus the Americas. Yeah, so one way, see, when we say business, there are two parts to it, right? See, one, the client has a problem, he will come to you as in to Cognizant, Accenture, Tata, HCL, whole of them. There is a auction that will go on, right? We call that bidding, right? So whoever gives the best solution with the best price, satisfies the client, they win the deal. So that is what a deal means. So this comes from the client, it's top down. So bottom up, what we do is the proactive pitches. So you urge the client or you do a lot of study about the client and say that this is where the industry is heading to. Your peers are doing this. Why don't you consider this solution? You have something handy, or you're trying to create a solution and try to sell that, right? How do I sell that? I will tell the client what value it brings to them and all that, right? So I've been doing this in my current role, and then obviously doing all this, I stand as a brand ambassador for the company, isn't it? So that's about my journey. So key points: technology is certainly important, but keep yourself equally equipped with other soft skills as well. So the company has given me all the liberty to switch track and pick all the opportunities that I wanted to. Yeah, any questions here?
Hello ma'am, I'm Narendran, third year EC department.
Yes sir.
As you said, you are a campus recruited person. What were the skills that were required for you as well as to the current trends even for us in an IT world?
Yeah, there's a slide just next to this, Narendran. I'll take you through in detail. But as I said here, right, as a newbie, as I tried to got into you, so it's definitely important that you be strong with your basics. As a fresher, they do not expect you to do nth level coding or something, right? So you are an EC engineer, you told me, right? Okay, so as you come in, they do not expect you to give lines and lines of coding and not that. Are you, strong in your basics? They will ask you for explaining your particular project or something, right? So whatever you do, be genuine, be open, you communicate clearly. We have seen a lot of cases where the person could be a topper in the class and deliberately fail in an interview. Why? He or she would be a bookworm, very timid, not talking at all. No, you will not sell in the market at all, absolutely. Sorry, right? So, very, very essential is open up whatever you know. It's okay to say no also. If you don't know something, say it in a very subtle way, right? And put a point that you're willing to learn. People will certainly understand. Yeah. If you're trying to cook up, take it from me, the person on the other side of the table, the recruiter, is definitely smart enough to find that out, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Hope I answered your question. I'll cover that in the next slide. Anything else?
Ma'am, hi ma'am. I'm Madhumita.
Yeah, Madhumita.
EC third year, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you prepare yourself for the interview, ma'am? Did you face any difficulties while preparing?
Okay, so I will say, I will give an example, right? Or I had a roommate. I'll quote the story of my roommate, right? So she was a electrical engineer, and she was, supposed to take an interview up with the Indian Oil Corporation. So she is a recipient of the Best Outgoing Student Award in the EEE section, right? But still she was very, not very confident that she will crack the interview and all that. So what can you do amongst yourself now that you're away from college and your friends and all that, right? Make the best use of the, all communication devices. As simple as a WhatsApp call or a Teams meeting, whatever is possible, right? And conduct mock interviews amongst yourselves. So I'm sure all of you are in third year, right? Or third year or placement ready or whatever. I see some ME and all that. Not sure if it's mechanical or postgraduates. So I'm sure by now you have a placement representative and a path to how you guys prepare yourself for the entire placement process, right? Do you adhere to it very, diligently? Besides, what you can do is do these stuffs like a mock interview. So what I did was, by the time she was attending that interview, I had not cracked my with Cognizant. But I posed as the interviewer, and I shot out questions. I went through her resume and I shot out questions to her, and she started answering me. Right? It's more like a game you play between you both, and then see, as much as you speak, you will gain confidence. So the first thing the interviewer will note about you is how confident you are in answering. Yeah, then comes your technical skills and everything underlying. Alright? So making mock interviews amongst yourselves can be one good way to do it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Next slide, please, Shiva. Okay, so in the next slide, right, I will try and take you through how you can be Cognizant ready. So what is needed if you want to get placed in Cognizant. So these 4 things you see here, cloud, digital engineering, data and IoT, are classified as the digital battlegrounds for our company as is, right? So what will assure you a placement or put you on top of the bucket list, right, is you have to be knowledgeable in any of these or hold a certification. That will be a definitely add-on for you to crack it very, very easily, right? Yeah, so when I say cloud, it could be the Amazons or the Googles or the Microsoft. The whole world is running in cloud now with the situation of working from home, learning from home and all that. We realize the importance of communication in cloud and everything, right? So hope that portion of the quadrant is clear for you. So when I say digital engineering, it's all about product sort of mindset, right? So no more IT companies are restricting themselves to just building website or back-end systems and all of that. No, the world is going beyond that, all of it, right? So I see a lot of mechanical engineers here and all that, right? So you do not have to be bothered that, I spent all my 4 years of engineering learning about machines and all that. Will I sit in front of a computer and just code? Not anymore, right? You will not get bored is what I'm trying to say. There are very interesting stuff like, so we devised a thing wherein there is a augmented reality model of a engine. So all your automobile guys, mechanical students, if you're on the call, you can relate to it, right? So that particular application or that thing, right, what it does is it is a 3D model of the engine that is running inside. So if there is a fault, if it is connected to that thing, if there is a fault or something, right, with your computers and everything, you can just identify it and even fix it. So things like this, right, you even can avoid a lot of hazards. Imagine miners going so deep or very hazardous mission that practically men are working on. If you can avoid that, and there's a concept called digital twin, that is a machinery in reality. You create an exact replica of it and have it with all these completely controlled with the software and everything, right? So if something goes wrong there, you just fix it here in your that digital twin, that will automatically go get fixed in the machine. Yeah, something like that. So you have to get yourself product ready. Yeah, that's with the digital engineering. And data, coming to data, one of you asked the brilliant question, right? The privacy concerns and all that. So you have a smartphone. The hard reality is when you say accept all the terms and conditions, already most of your publicly available data is gone, right? We know the concept of metadata and everything, right, currently. So data is no longer about just getting storing something on a database. It's gone beyond, right? Data engineering, analytics, statistics, and data scientists. All these big data is the big word that you could be hearing in the last 4-5 years, isn't it? So for you to be data ready, there are a lot of certifications available. So if you think it's very difficult to go to the level of certifications, right, at least take all your e-learning courses. Probably you even have this in your syllabus. Way back, these were all not even there in the world. So obviously we didn't have it in our curriculum. So if you have, well and good. If not, just Google up, and start learning some of these. That will definitely get you to the industry ready. And coming to IoT, now we are bored with smartphones already, isn't it? We need more devices like the Alexas and Echoes and and you want to touch and feel, right? You go pick a shoe. There's a concept in our innovation center where there's a kiosk display. If I just pick a shoe, the kiosk shoots up the details of the shoe. I can just make the payment directly there and leave the mall. Concepts like that are already in place in Adidas, Nike sort of companies in the US. Not very far, right? India is a very fastly developing nation and the youngest already, right? So for all of this to run, the basic is you definitely need C, C++, Java and all of this. So get your basics strong, that's the first thing. And learn the scripting languages, because all of this, whenever you choose to go to the path of a full stack developer, right? So you need all of this to be in your bucket. Yeah. Next slide, please, Shiva. Yeah. So this is my last slide. You can probably breathe, and I'll take questions for a couple of minutes after that. Probably this is what you wanted, right? What the industry looks for in you. What should you have to, crack the placements and get into a company with a job in your hand. So must-haves, definitely the quantitative aptitude. You have to work out a lot. Any company you get into will ask for this. And like I said, try practicing mock interviews, jams, group discussions, very essential. Take topics of recent trends, discuss that, right? Have a mix of topics, not just technical. Try politics, try cinema, try sports, everything, right? It's very, very essential to be an all-rounder. Yeah? And so that's your must-have. What makes it essential for an IT job, right? Now it is no more you are a developer, you are a tester, you are a database. If you had noticed in the earlier slides, I said I got into a 60-member team, right? So we have separate teams. We used to have. Now it's all full stack. People want you to know possibly everything. So it's like a, fast track. Let me put this thing to you, right? So there's an option now in Cognizant that normally if you're recruited at a programmer analyst trainee level. You're at a trainee level. Then you get promoted to program analyst and then to an associate. Now there is an option that if you hold a certification or if you're highly skilled in all of these cutting edge technologies, done projects and all that, right? Of course, will come with certain other requisites that probably the HR can answer on. We are directly recruiting associates. So which means it's like a double promotion. It's like a pass card, you directly get there, right? So for you to be highly equipped at that level. So what does that mean is, you start getting a salary at a higher level, basic, and you fast track your career by at least 2 to 3 years. Imagine you start off there. So you guys have at least a year and a half left to groom yourself better, right? In your career, before you complete your course. So as stronger as you get, the wider are the opportunities to, get directly recruited like that. So what can take you there? We are looking for people with full stack developer skills and niche skills, right? And there's this term that's booming up called SDET, right? So software development engineer and test. So basically a tester who can still do some amount of coding. So it's a mix of software developer and tester role together, right? So all this is coming up. So these are all essential so that you get yourself cracked into a IT industry as a solid person, right? So what is desirable? So a lot of companies, if you see, are MNCs that you're working with, isn't it? So if you have a foreign language skill, I'm sure most of you would have studied French already in your higher secondary, isn't it? So a foreign language skill, particularly Europe, that region, right? So if you know their language, you get a better preference. For example, you get into a project, if you have a language capability, then chances of you fetching a visa is brighter than those of others, right? So if your college has a platform for that, well and good. If not, you don't have to wait for that, right? There are a lot of apps online. You can just go to one of them and just get the basics of any of the language that interests you. There's one called Duolingo, Duolingo. You can probably try and see. I'm sure there are lots, but this is one that I've tried using, right? And end of the day, like I said, your technical skills, everything is fine, but you have to speak about it. Practical knowledge is very, very essential. You would have done many projects, right, in your curriculum, many projects, or you would have done internships. So when you sit for an interview, talk about it. Standard, tell me about yourself is going to be there, right? Or in a direct or indirect form, the recruiter is going to ask you. Even if otherwise, you find a way to bring out all the good you have done, right? Explain your project in a nice story-like manner that will interest your recruiter or an interviewer, right? And tell that what went wrong, how did you fix it, what you learned out of it. And for sure you would have received commendations from your professors, friends, whoever, right? So tell that you were appreciated. So all that will score you more marks in your interview. So top of all, insist the point that you will be a team player. Very, very important, right? Though you get into an IT industry, highly competitive, but still teamwork is very essential. Because now if you see, it's all we talk about is agile DevOps, no longer what waterfall and iterative is running the show, right? What we essentially, the clients also want to see is everything as soon as possible, right? Agile, they say act fast and fail fast. They are okay even if you fail, but they want to know it then and there as soon as possible. Not that you execute a project for 1 year and then you say that no, this is a failure. No, you try it in 3 months, 6 months, and then say, okay, this is very good, not happening. Okay, then change track, course correct immediately. That's what Agile and DevOps is all about, right? And then take ownership of things, and then that's how we will definitely progress in your career. And basic things, be honest in your resume. Do not shy away from telling the truth. I'll tell you out of my personal experience. Both my parents are highly qualified and they are in government jobs. Like I said right at the start of my talk, I was in the batch where recession hit and people were telling, they were misguiding do not tell that your parents are employed. Tell that only your dad is employed. All that is not necessary. You don't have to cook up at all. What the person looked in me is how technically strong I am, how confident I am, and how I was able to communicate what I have done, right? So in my final year, we took a project, though I was a computer science engineer, I had a good mentor from ECE, right? My professor who was, my guide was from the EC background. So she helped me do a nice interesting project where we worked on embedded systems, where was a big word back then. So we tried to do a temperature controller sort of thing that would automatically condition the temperature of the air condition in your room. So all of that was interesting. When I said that in my interview, they were very openly stating the fact that though I was a software engineer, I was ready to explore other stuff. So upskilling and cross-skilling, that's the buzzword of this current couple of years going around. Whoever you are, you have to know a lot of other skills, not just your basics, right? So be honest in your resume, be open enough to say and commit to them that you're willing to learn. If you don't know an answer, say how much ever you know about it, and they said, this is what I know, I will certainly learn more, right? So these are the points I wanted to discuss on. Probably I took a lot of time, sorry about that. Any other questions you have, happy to answer them. Yeah? Can we take that as a no? Already hungry, it's 1:30, isn't it? Alright, thank you all. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Cognizant team, for sharing us with an insightful messages. Sure, it will motivate and encourage our young minds to march towards their rightful career. Thank you, team. Thanks a lot. And now I call upon our design thinking youth wing to honor our guests with a digital memento.
Lockdown has not stopped us from exploring and learning new things. Though we all stay in different locations, today we have come together virtually. And we would like to express our gratitude to Mr. Radhakrishnan Thampi, Ms. Parvathi Subramanian, Mr. Shiva Biswas, on behalf of our SNS family by presenting a digital memento as a token of our love. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you team for this amazing opportunity. Very happy to connect with all of you. Wish you all the best in your.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Nice presentation, madam. Thank you.
On behalf of our SNS institution, I request Dr. S.S. Charles, Principal of SNS College of Engineering, for vote of thanks.
Thank you. Gratitude is the universal language of mankind. I feel honored and privileged to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. We are greatly pleased to acknowledge the experts in the field. Welcome you all. I extremely express my sense of gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our management for gracing the pre-final year placement orientation program. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to Mr. Radhakrishnan Thampi, Director CTS, Ms. Parvathi Subramanian, Senior Analyst, Business Development CTS, Mr. Shiva Biswas, Analyst, Business Development CTS, and Mr. Praveen Viswanathan, Campus Recruitment HR CTS. All the speakers have inspired us with their thought-provoking information, the quantum of technical stuff, and the soft skills that are required for the budding engineers has really brought regenerated thoughts in the minds of pre-final years who are ready to enter the job market. Thank you all. First of all, I would like to owe my deep sense of gratitude to our esteemed chairman, Dr. N. Subramanian, for his constant guidance, motivation and support, which has escalated our institutions to this extent. I also extend my sincere thanks to our beloved correspondent, Madam Dr. S. Rajalakshmi, for gracing this occasion. I would like to take this opportunity to express my hearty thanks to our technical director and the native design thinker, Dr. S. Naresh Bimal